What's going on, guys? Today we're talking about manhole testing. Right here we've got two different styles. We've got a plate tester, we have a bladder tester. These pieces of equipment are used for exactly what they sound like. It's testing manholes. The main thing you're going to be testing with manholes is going to be leaking. And this is going to happen on various stages of a construction project, because sometimes you're doing the manhole at the beginning. Sometimes you've already got a fully completed project and you just need to test the manhole if you're putting in some sort of underground new piping or something along those lines. So first and foremost, we have our 44-inch plate style. This one right here is going to be sitting on, it's going to be basically like a manhole that looks like our test chamber here, where you actually have a ring structure sitting up above the ground. It's not flush, so that you're able to create a seal with the foam pad under here. Once you start pulling a vacuum, what it basically does is it's going to pull that plate down, and the foam pad itself is pretty dense, and that creates a seal, a vacuum seal all around it. And it looks a little bit something like this. You're going to take a compressor, get it plugged into the vacuum here. You're going to make sure that your vacuum is turned off, and then you're going to take your compressor, you're going to plug it in here, turn that vacuum on. You'll see that it's pulling down right now. Once you come in here to that area there, you're going to stop it, turn off the compressor, and you're basically watching this gauge. Now typically, whether it's a plate style or a bladder style, you're going to have an inspector out here, a third-party inspector with the contractor, and they're going to be watching this with them to make sure that it's holding pressure, because it needs to hold pressure. Typically it's going to be around 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, and then the inspector will give you the pass, and that means you're good to move on to the next phase. Moving over here to our bladder style. This one is a pneumatic plug. There's two steps to this one, not just the one. And you can see here this T-bar, this is going to drop down into a manhole, not on top of, into a manhole. This bar right here is what's going to keep it at the height you need. This can be adjusted up here. It's not just for holding with a forklift. You actually adjust up and down, make sure you're at the height you need, because this right here, the black ring, is essentially an air plug like what you see around us here. It's the same concept. We're going to be pumping this with air with this line here. We're going to pump this up. It's going to expand outward and create that seal with outward pressure within the manhole itself. Once you have that seal, and there's a gauge right over here that you're going to monitor the pressure. Once you've created that seal and you know that it's tight, you're going to end up starting the same process. There's no vacuum on it right now, but you would take the same vacuum unit, bring it over here to put it on the cam lock, and you would start that same vacuum process. Again, you're most likely doing this because an inspector's out there to make sure that the manhole is sealed with no leaks. And then at that point, whenever you have the testing done, the big safety tip here is you want to get rid of that vacuum pressure before deflating the plug. If you don't do that, it's possible that this flies out. It can shoot right out. So always make sure that you get rid of the vacuum pressure, and then you can open up the compressor and deflate the black ring here. And that's how we use our manhole testers.